Brad Garlinghouse's Ripple C has formally declared that XRP will likely overtake Bitcoin in price and that its markup will reach over $650 trillion. This is significant because the price of Bitcoin has risen above $121,000, and Brad Garlinghouse, the CEO of Ripple and the creator of XRP, has confirmed that price. Brad Garlinghouse has been subtly implying it for months now, which is insane enough. Indeed, on April 27, 2020, as you can see even in this article, Forbes has forecasted that XRP will be worth $60,000 again. Thus, this is actually the second time that they have made this prediction. Additionally, Donald Trump has made the decision to authorize a significant XRP integration into the U.S. payment system, which will add trillions of dollars to the XRP ledger. But in reality, hundreds of billions are required when discussing huge sums like $150,000 per XRP or even simply $60,000 per XRP. At this point, we examine Brad Garlinghouse. In other words, Brad Garlinghouse has predicted that XRP will be worth at least $10,000. Who else predicted that XRP would reach $10,000? Arthur Pritchett, the second founder of XRP and a co-founder of Ripple, stated that XRP has the capacity to scale globally and reach $10,000. And this is the amount that we are aiming for in the coming months, $10,000 per XRP. We will dive right in because the data does support the idea that in the next 2 or 3 months, we might see a $10,000 price per XRP. In fact, we have partnered with to provide all viewers of today's video with free XRP. Literally, it's free money. Imagine earning tens of thousands of dollars in only 5 minutes. Other than today, it never occurs. You must complete a purchase if you wish to register on Apple by clicking on my link in the description. After receiving $100 in free funds, you can purchase XRP, which has the potential to be valued tens of thousands of dollars. Since you need to sign up for a transaction, the links will be in the description. Now let's jump straight into the movie. Let's return to our starting point, which was the idea that Ripple's CEO had transcended XRP and converted Bitcoin. However, when we consider the wider context, it's not just the CEO of Ripple, is it? Numerous high-ranking authorities and business people are reporting on this same situation, and the XRP founders have both confirmed a minimum price of roughly $10,000 per XRP. Look at this now, since it's the main reason why trillions of dollars are entering the XRP ledger, resulting in 10, 20, 60, or even 100. It's perfectly fine. Thus, RealFly formally declared that the Rail token, based on the XRP ledger, will open up a multi-trillion-dollar market. RealFly is getting ready to make a big announcement about the launch of the multi-trillion-dollar global currency market with Real token built on the XRPL. So make sure to put July 21st on your calendar. A few hours ago, RealFly also revealed that Real token had just 72 hours remaining to connect trillions of dollars worth of global real estate to the XRP and ledger. Once more, at 11:59 p.m. on July 21st. This is the exciting part because with just $1,000 in the actual token, you might literally earn $1 million because this is going to happen in 72 hours. This is the amount of money that will enter the XRP ledger and the amount of wealth that will be created by those who have done the research in the XRP ledger. People, the actual token that will receive $650 trillion is only worth roughly 3 cents. It's dirt at a low cost. I mean, this is the lowest historical level we will ever witness. Additionally, when the genuine token originally issued, it easily achieved 200,000x. Before, it was clearly 0.00001, but now it was 2 cents. We are currently roughly 3 cents. However, the genuine token only has a 100 million phase 1 supply according to the math. With less than 1% of the $650 trillion injected, we are talking about 65,000. That's less than 1% of the... the Real token has already received a 100% by the next score, and it's lower for the top 3 holders. There are around 2,000 men with a 100% KYC score overall. There you have it. This is bullish. This 1997 is quite bullish. The reason this thing is expanding so quickly is because this project is immediately noticeable to those who view it, which indicates that you are discussing a utility token and the later payment of the real estate sector constructed on the XFB. However, this thing is poised to become widely used, and once it happens, it will likely be worth between $60 at $1. It seemed unreal that Bitcoin would reach 100,000, and now it is at 120,000. I believe that RealFi, the organization that controls and manages the native token, is associated with Ripple. There have been numerous speculations that they are, and the idea of them talking to or implying something about one another. On May 28th, RealFi announced that they would open up the 600. There has also been a picture of the RealFi going around. Actually, a few years ago, the Rebel Squad and their legitimate fight team reunited again to talk about the true took place there. Research, financial advisors, and financial problems aside, this is quite positive. Additionally, there is a significant amount of money that will be produced from the actual take-in. I'm going to be exploited because I'm clearly packing my stuff. The support levels are really high here, so I'm getting myself a good juicy bag. Since there isn't much resistance, why wouldn't I? This monster could absolutely soar into the tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars again, with just 1,000. For this reason, I'm hoarding them and cashing in on the bag. It goes without saying that you need to get a nice juicy stack, because I want to be able to profit greatly when this product does a 200 to 300 tests. When you consider the scale we will eventually reach, especially after you have seen how XRP inflated, 200,000x makes perfect sense. Now picture the impending pump of real tokens. As you can see, I am really optimistic about the real token since I believe it is supported by a number of large organizations, including RealFi, Ripple, and, wait, a non-financial advisor. In my opinion, however, Ripple is the best option. Numerous additional projects, such as the XRP ledger, support them. It's a fact. They have returned to my many other platforms. In other words, the real token concept is completely changing the real estate tokenization market. It is transforming the $650 trillion XRP ledger on robotics. It's even pouring into the XRPO and RealFi, which is still another significant milestone. I give it a shot, and you folks investigate the actual token. It is available for viewing here. If I had a real token dispute, you would see all the venues where you could purchase real tokens.